Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Amid the post-holiday COVID surge, there are signs the Omicron variant is changing the pandemic as a whole, and experts believe there might be a silver lining here. Nick.
To go to school or not to go to school? That is the question many school districts and many parents are facing today, while there's also new arguments about whether or not they should be wearing masks.
Detroit is planning to show appreciation to its police officers with bonuses of $2,000. Tonight, that's got other first responders feeling a little bit slighted. Detroit police, no doubt, risk their lives every day to protect the public, but they're not the only ones who do so.
Firefighters and medics also encounter danger as part of their daily routine, but right now there's no talk of them in those one-time bonuses. Local 4 Defender Sean Lay is live with the possible reason behind that decision. Sean.
Jason, here's what we know right now. The city of Detroit saying nothing's been decided about $2,000 bonuses for police officers, but they are being considered to help retain officers, not losing them to other departments. The fire union tonight says it's happy for Detroit police officers if they get $2,000 in a bonus, but they're feeling left out. In this official bulletin from the Detroit Firefighters Association sent just before Christmas to all Detroit firefighters and medics, informing them of a lump of coal they say they were getting. It reads that the fire union learned that the city of Detroit intended to pay Detroit police officers a, quote, $2,000 appreciation bonus for their hard work and accomplishments. Risking their lives day and night in fighting through a pandemic, the firefighters union asked the city if Detroit firefighters would also be getting an appreciation bonus. The memo reads, quote, the city's response, to be blunt, was very disappointing. The union says it was told that DFD does not have the same retention issues that the police department does, and was told that under its most recent contract, raises were given to firefighters. The union's take, the city is favoring one group of first responders over another. The city's response, quote, nothing has been approved and any agreement would require review and approval by Detroit City Council. The Detroit Firefighters Union last year agreed to a new 5-year contract with significant bonuses and raises running through 2025. And the city of Detroit went on to say that police unions are operating under old contracts from 2016 and that right now they are absolutely focused on addressing upcoming police contracts. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4. Back to you.
All right, Sean, we appreciate it. Thanks. Updating some breaking news from earlier in St. Clair County, where a stretch of eastbound I-94 has just reopened after a deadly crash. It happened near the overpass at Meldrum Street. We're told one person was killed in this crash and others have serious injuries from what may have been a head-on collision.
All right, turning our attention to the coronavirus. We've received a new data update this afternoon. The state is reporting more than 61,000 new cases in the past 5 days. That's a daily average of about 12,000. And remember, that number does not include people who tested positive on an at-home only test or people who were unable to get a testing appointment. 298 people lost their lives to COVID during that same time frame. Meanwhile, residents across Metro Detroit are waiting long hours at COVID testing sites as the Omicron variant continues to spike. This is video from Sky 4 of the lines at the testing site at Lakeside Mall in Sterling Heights. And this is video from Farmington Hills. You can see long lines at the Millennium Center on Northwestern Highway south of 14 Mile. Many people are lining up to get tested. Clearly, the combination of this more contagious variant and holiday gatherings is causing faster spread, but could Omicron change the course of the entire pandemic? Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with some insight on this intriguing question, Doc.
Yeah, Kim. So, Omicron has changed so many things about the pandemic. It's almost like dealing with a different virus. So let's start with the speed of spread and focus on South Africa, where it was first identified.
Previous variants have taken several weeks to reach a peak, creating more of a hump on a graph of new cases. Omicron, because it spreads so quickly, is causing the steepest spike in cases of all variants. Looking at the graph of new cases in South Africa, the Omicron peak has already occurred about 3 weeks from the point it took off. Cases there are already decreasing. Now, here in the U.S., we had a much higher baseline number of cases because of ongoing Delta spread, but you can see once Omicron was introduced into the U.S., our cases have also sharply spiked over roughly the past 2 weeks. Now, of course, it remains to be seen if we're going to peak in 3 weeks like South Africa did, but we can certainly hope. Now, another important chart to look at is the relationship of new cases to deaths that occurred from Omicron in South Africa. Unlike with prior variant waves, the number of deaths didn't increase dramatically with Omicron. That's one of the reasons we believe Omicron might not cause as severe an illness. So far in the U.S., we have not seen a spike in deaths either.
So the odd silver lining to this wildfire-like spread is that large numbers of people will most likely become infected with Omicron, hopefully with less severe disease, and most importantly, it actually has the potential to generate widespread immunity. But let me be completely clear about this, though. This is not the smartest way to develop widespread immunity compared to getting vaccinated. The reason is that even though Omicron may cause fewer deaths for every new case, the spike in new cases means there's still going to be an overwhelming burden on our healthcare system, and deaths will continue to result. Plus, of course, there is the broad disruption to society that widespread infection causes that we've seen in the airline industry, healthcare sector, you name it, it's causing problems.
We've also seen it here in the newsroom as well. Frank, some experts have also said Omicron should also change the type of masks we're wearing. The cloth masks just are not sufficient.
Well, Kim, N95s and KN95s are certainly more effective no matter how you slice it. But part of the equation is also the willingness of someone to wear a mask. If someone is not willing to wear a more effective mask, well, in that case, a cloth mask is better than not wearing any mask. Personally, though, these days, I wear my N95 mask in the ER as well as in public.
Yeah. Okay. Dr. McGeorge, we appreciate it.
The Food and Drug Administration has authorized Pfizer's COVID booster shot for people 12 to 15 years old now. The FDA also reduced the amount of time everyone should wait between receiving a second vaccine dose and booster from 6 months to 5. The agency additionally authorized a third primary series dose, which is, for all intents and purposes, the same as a booster of Pfizer's shot for some immunocompromised children 5 to 11 years old. Up next, the CDC and its advisory committee will hold discussions before they sign off on the FDA's recommendations here. And another COVID-19 issue still on many minds is the spread in schools. Some students went back to school today. Other districts start tomorrow, while some are holding off. Nick Monticelli is live tonight. Nick, this is also reigniting another debate with this.
And that debate is whether or not to have a mask mandate inside of those schools, Jason. What's really interesting, too, is that there's so many differences of opinions within the school districts themselves. Some, as you mentioned, open today, some tomorrow, some holding off completely. And that's what has many parents frustrated. The new year is off to a new start of new yet similar arguments. Students returning to schools this week with rising COVID cases. It has parents arguing over mask mandates again.
It's time to do what's right instead of just the bare minimum.
Some parents, like this group in Macomb County, are begging leaders to institute mask mandates as Omicron spreads.
We just are coming off a holiday surge. The numbers are atrocious. The numbers today, I'm afraid to see. But I don't understand why we wouldn't protect our children.
Others are angry that mask mandates are now in place, like these parents in St. Clair County.
She deserves to have a choice whether or not she wants to wear a mask. It should be the parents' choice.
The State Department of Health also weighed in last week, the director writing, in addition to vaccination, we strongly recommend universal masking for students, teachers, and staff. We have the tools to keep Michiganders safe, and we must continue to use them. All of this while schools are deciding whether to come back at all. Many districts will return tomorrow as long as staffing allows it. Some are still evaluating, like Detroit schools, which canceled classes through Thursday, and some have shut down for the week. Clintondale schools will not return until January 10th. Now, just in case you didn't hear the caveat in that story, as long as staffing allows it, all districts, all superintendents that I have talked to all said that if they are going to be opening or when they do reopen, everything could change depending on their staffing levels. So, Jason, that's one thing to keep in mind for parents and guardians. Things could change very quickly depending on if there's enough teachers and support staff to open those buildings.
I think very quickly is the key phrase there, and we're going to see a lot of that. All right, Nick, thanks.
Okay, turning now to our weather forecast. Our frigid start to 2022 continues here. Hi, Andrew.
Hey there, Kimberly. You're absolutely right. Happy New Year to you, Jason, and all your loved ones, of course, and everyone out there in Southeast Michigan. Hope you had a wonderful holiday weekend. We have certainly been in the deep freeze with sub-freezing, even sub-zero conditions earlier this morning. Now we've gone from mid-20s into the low 20s, but boy, that sunshine was wonderful, wasn't it? Well, enjoy it for tomorrow as well. Afterward, I'm watching this system here that's going to form in the Pacific Northwest. It's going to be our next snowmaker, but not until the middle of this week. Overnight tonight, we're still looking at dry conditions, including for this evening, as temperatures continue to dip into the low 20s when you join us tonight at 11 o'clock. Now, overnight lows are going to be in the teens, so we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about that possibility of snow and where temperatures go from here in your full 7-day forecast in minutes.
All right, Andrew. Several Democratic lawmakers in Detroit are filing a lawsuit over the new voting maps approved by Michigan's Redistricting Commission. The suit is being filed with the Michigan Supreme Court. It claims the new districts violate the Voting Rights Act and will silence black voters. They say the maps do away with the most of the minority districts at the state and federal levels and combine communities with different interests like Birmingham, Detroit, and Taylor. The suit involves current and former lawmakers.
I stand with those who I know should be representing Detroiters because they have lived it, worked very hard in these districts with their constituents, and they know what the people that they represent need the most.
Members of the Redistricting Commission say they believe the maps comply with the Voting Rights Act.